Hey y'all, Auntie's back, and I am late. Not for my period, but for this show. So I got to talk about some adversities and how you get through, a difficult day. So go grab you a drink. Meet you on the couch in a few minutes. Hey, made it in the house safely. I got my drink. You got yours? All right, so let's jump into some background tea. Okay? I have 10 people in my house. I have my two oldest children, 30 and 26, and their children, so three grandchildren. I have my three teenagers, a 17-year-old boy, a 17-year-old girl, and a 15-year-old girl. Me and Jack. That is a lot of logistics. I also have an ex-husband. He he doesn't like me very much and he acts it out. So we're working through that dynamic as well. Um so I'm also in school. I have a diagnosis of Sjogren's syndrome that put me on disability. So I had to stop working a job that I loved. And instead of stewing in it, I decided to go to school and move my life coaching into counseling. So I have that going on. A lot of moving pieces. Okay. So now that story time is over, let's get into the meat of this conversation. Every day is not perfect. I do not show up as my best self every day. And if you do, this content is probably not for you. If you don't have a lot of moving pieces, if you don't have real life adversities that hit from time to time, this is not for you. If you're one of those people like, I would never, and I never, and you just better than everybody else, it's not your platform. I'm not part of your tribe. So wanted to throw that tidbit out of there next. Life is work. I am a firm believer that what you focus on is what you get more of. For example, um, if you are murmuring and complaining and you feel like everybody's against you, that's what you're always going to see. You're always going to see the negative of somebody's out to get you. If you have the mindset of, you walk into somewhere and nobody here likes me, you're going to notice attitudes. You're going to notice problems. But if you focus on positive, then you get positive. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean things don't happen. But when things happen, do you melt into the negative of it, or do you find the silver lining? So last week, one of the kids had bronchitis. I also ended up with a respiratory infection. I wasn't feeling good. things kept happening, and I was in a really, just not in a good mood. And that happens to me from time to time. Um, but as you saw, I took a moment to find the good, find what is going right. Where is my helper helping? Um, and that's kind of where I'm at today. My transmission is acting up. Um, I'm not working consistently. I'm in school and school is going very well. But with the car being messed up and me having 10 people in the house, that's inconvenient. It's not the end of the world, but it's inconvenient. Is the car moving? Yes. Do I have to get it fixed? Yes. So is it a good idea to take it to Virginia Beach? No. So I have to make different arrangements. Um, Also, with there being so many people, the kitchen is always a mess. I have to vacuum every day. Um, it's not always quiet when I want to study or when I have um, to life coach that day. Sometimes there's relationship friction, and you have to work through that. But how do you view it? For me, I do blow up sometimes because I'm human. I'm human. But I also try to take a step back. Again, the ceiling is not coming in. I'm not falling through the floor. I have to take a minute. I have to breathe. I like to box breathe and take a minute to ground myself. So, drinking wine is not a technique that I use. Do drink wine, but it's not a technique that I use. I pray, I meditate. I mean, I actually meditate. I go into my closet and I have a setup and I sit and I deep breathe. I take a minute to ground myself and, focus on my breath, focus on my body and meditate. I box breathe. My little camera won't stop moving, so I had to adjust. I like to box. Like I have this little machine that I punch. I like to kickbox. Walking, hiking. I love fishing. I love to get in my boat and just fish, enjoy a moment. Um, I knit. That is soothing for me. And I journal. I like to journal at night to rehash my experience, see where I could have done better. Um, I journal so that I can reflect, not in a judgmental way, but just reflect on how I felt in in a moment or how I reacted in a moment. Was that helpful for my goal or my journey? Did that move me forward or keep me stagnant or even move me backwards? Even with my kids, I like to reflect a lot. With having so many children and with the age range, they're all different. You can't respond to them all the same way. But with that being said, I find that I have more patience in a lot of ways. I'm also almost 50 versus 17. So that also makes a big difference. um, you know, how you handle things really says a lot about your character. And I haven't always had the most upstanding character. So I try to take a minute and breathe before I respond. Does that always work? Not 100% of the time, but I'm better than I was. And I find that reflecting helps me pursue a better me. Whew. Them kids will try you though. Them kids will try you. The older ones, the younger ones. It always baffles me. Like, how you got attitude with me about my stuff? It's my stuff. But at the end of the day, it's just stuff. And sometimes when you feel disrespected, you have to take a minute and analyze that feeling. Like, is it ego? What does that mean to you? Is it worth it in the end? Like, does the ends justify the means type of situation? And then you have your actual partner dynamic. That can be a relationship strain that you have to work through. Um, every day ain't sunshine, bubblegum, and roses. So you have to take that person for who they are and go from there. But what you focus on is what you're going to get. So, you make your decision and you rock with that. My first situation um, was tumultuous. So, you can't control another person. You have to make your own decisions and then go from there. But that doesn't mean you have to stew every day, wake up every day deciding that, I hate this person and my life is miserable. And because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get misery. Find joy. Move yourself into a situation where you can be joyous. People can't make you happy. You have to find your own happiness, even if that means moving yourself away from a situation or a person. And with that being said, even in the best of situations, every day ain't gonna be kumbaya. You have to be the master of your own destiny. Decide who you want to be and be that. So, I'm going to get my car fixed next week. Olivia is going to wrestle, and I won't be there, but we arranged for her to go. I got a 98% in both of my classes last semester. And life is good. Life is good. My life, particularly, is good. And I thank you guys for riding with me on my journey, rocking with me. I hope I helped somebody. Um, Chime in. Tell me about where you find you're happy. What do you do to regulate yourself? Let me know.